The Star Dreadnought classification was used to classify ships that had a length of over 5,000 meters. However, there were a few exceptions to this rule, which we will address later in the video as a separate list. First are the Executor-class Star Dreadnoughts, also known as Super Star Destroyers. They were one of the largest ships in the Imperial Navy, and were used as flagships, commanding the other Imperial warships. Due to their massive size, they had 4,000 turbo laser cannons, were so heavily armed that they were almost invincible in combat, and were capable of carrying thousands of TIE fighters. Darth Vader used one of these ships as his command ship, which was destroyed in the space battle of Endor. Second are the Eclipse-class Dreadnoughts. They were introduced by the Empire 6 years after the Battle of Endor, and were among the largest warships ever created in galactic history. They were equipped with a super laser, which was capable of destroying capital ships and even penetrating planetary shields to crack a planet's crust with a single shot. They possessed shields and armor so powerful that they could literally ram enemy ships without taking any damage. Third are the Asserter-class Star Dreadnoughts. They were often used as sector command ships, and were distinguishable by the turbo laser batteries that littered their upper and lower hulls. Fourth are the Bellator-class Dreadnoughts. They were one of the fastest dreadnoughts, and they had 2 massive reactor domes protruding underneath. They were used to escort the larger Asserter-class Dreadnoughts. Fifth are the Sovereign-class Dreadnoughts. Emperor Palpatine envisioned an entire fleet of these massive ships, but that never happened due to his death and how long it took to construct these dreadnoughts. Sixth are the Vengeance-class Dreadnoughts. They were very long and narrow ships, and had a shape more of a sword than the typical dagger seen in other Imperial ships. They also possessed a unique square-shaped command bridge tower than the usual wedge-shaped one as seen in most other Imperial capital ships. Seventh are the Mandator-class Star Dreadnoughts. They were the first warships to be considered Star Dreadnoughts by the over 5,000 meter length rule, and were created 2 decades before the Clone Wars. There were later the Mandator II and the Mandator III class Dreadnoughts, which were larger and more powerful than the standard Mandator class. The next set of Dreadnoughts do not have the length over 5,000 meters. However, they were still considered dreadnoughts by their respective governments, due to them being one of the largest ships in their navies. First are the Harrower class Dreadnoughts. They were used by the Sith Empire during the Great Galactic War and the wars that followed. For their time, they were one of the most powerful ships in the galaxy, and were capable of carrying over 100 starfighters. The knowledge of these ships remained for thousands of years, with even Emperor Palpatine comparing the similarities of them with Imperial Star Destroyers. Second are the Providence-class carriers, also known as Separatist Dreadnoughts. They were used heavily by the Confederate Navy during the Clone Wars. The crew of these ships was made up entirely of droids, with a few organic officers in commanding positions. General Grievous used one of these ships as a flagship during the Battle of Coruscant. Third are the Kandozi-type Dreadnoughts. They were used by the Mandalorians during the Mandalorian Wars. They were built using stolen technology and ship designs, and they served as powerful battleships. Fourth are the Core Galaxy System Dreadnoughts. They were used by the Old Republic during the Great Sith Wars. Their primary roles included planetary assault and occupation. Fifth are the Conqueror-class Atmospheric Dreadnoughts. They were massive attack platforms used by the Separatists during the Clone Wars. They were equipped with dozens of laser cannons, and were very effective against enemy starfighters. Sixth are the Invincible-class Dreadnoughts. They were among the largest ships of the Old Republic. However, due to weapon advancements in starfighters, they became very vulnerable to fast attacks dealt by starfighters. This resulted in future warships being made smaller for many centuries, up until around the Clone Wars era. Seventh are the Black Hole-class Salvage Dreadnoughts. They were used by the Ugor for scavenging operations in space. The last two don't have any images of themselves, so instead, we'll just put up pictures of space battles in their place. Eighth are the Geonosian Dreadnoughts. They were developed by the Geonosians for the Separatists, and saw limited use during the Clone Wars. Last are the Corellian Dreadnoughts. They were used by the Five Worlds, and were designed for close-quarter ship-to-ship combat. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this one. And as always, may the Force be with you.